seizing opportunities. It's quite interesting that growing up, we've all been inundated with some teachings on opportunities, as it were. And if I ask, how many people have heard phrases like opportunity once lost? You can speak back to me. It's an interactive service. I'm not just there to just preach. But, sorry, how many minutes do I have, Ma, before the Q&A? Okay, so now let me start by setting the tone for certain contextual things we all grew up with. And that are myths. You see, myths generally are widely held false beliefs and ideas. They are myths of things that appear real, but in reality, they are not really so. So opportunity in itself is a situation in which it is possible for you to do something that you want to do. Sometimes it is a chance for you to do something that you're not even prepared to do. And so it's a set of circumstances that makes it possible. A set of circumstances makes having to do these things possible at a favorable time or condition or occasion. And so the myths that have dangled over our heads over time are things like opportunity once lost can never be regained. It's a myth. The understanding really we should have living this service today is that opportunity once lost can always be regained. Another one is opportunity, once you lose it, you don't tap into it, you don't utilize it, you will not have the time again. I'm here to tell you to the glory of God that yes, sometimes what do? We lose opportunities. We ignore opportunities. We do not tap into opportunities. That's very correct. But sometimes when you don't utilize it, it is never lost. I mean, let that just stick with us. We'll get there shortly. Again, I had this teacher when I was in high school, and he made this one like stick. He would tell us that, you see, opportunity is like a human being who comes to your door early in the morning and comes knocking. And there are chances of that you are going to do a number of things. You either answer the knock, you open the door, you ignore because you still want to sleep some more like we saw in the drama. You can do a whole lot of things. But you see, he made us understood, I mean, with that, at that young, impressionable age, that what opportunity will do, it will knock all day. Then when it is dark, it goes back to what he calls its forgiving abode. That opportunity is always very forgiving. And then when it is done the next day, what he does is he comes back and knock again. And chances are that someday, in the course of the knocking, you would open the door. And lastly, that it is always very forgiving. It does not mind a second, a third, a fourth, a fifth, a sixth, a seventh, a eighth, 9, 10, 20. Plenty opportunities will present themselves. And what you will do with them is just left to you. It's left to you at what point you choose to also do something with opportunities. So, that brings me to the next thing, how to find opportunities. Generally, we've always been construed to reason like we need to go out and look for opportunities. That's correct. But there is a level of understanding and grace you come to that you don't go looking for opportunities. What you do is you attract opportunities. And that is a level I believe every child or everybody in here should learn to get to. It takes diverse strategies, skills, grace particularly, and favor to get to that level. You don't just want to seek. When you seek, yes, it's good. But you get to a level that you just attract it. I mean, there are people that they just sit down in their homes or their offices and somebody will just call them. You get to a level that people just call you and, we are thinking of somebody to do something. And that is the level we should strive to get to. So as I'm saying to you this morning, I love the choice of the topic, by the way, because it also speaks to a fact that, yes, you can get to the level whereby you do attract opportunities, but you may still not seize it. Yes, you do attract them. You're at that level, maybe educationally, by your professional standing, by your influence in the society. Yes, you will attract it. You're magnetic like that. But you still don't take advantage and still seize it. So, how do you find opportunities in life? So, chances are that you will find or attract opportunities when you do certain things. When you do certain things. I mean, it's not, the list in itself is not exhaustive, but chances are that you would attract. But will you still seize it? And the first thing I would like to speak about here briefly is the mindset. You know, that's why we started in certain tones from the concept of the meat, the things we've been, you know, there are a lot of lies that we've been told growing up. So I don't know how many people over the years have rewrote the script of some of those. I mean, it's not like it is the intention of our parents, our teachers, our society to lie to us. I mean, and I'll share an example. You know, how many people were told you go to school, you made good grades, you get a good job, you live a good life? Was that not how we were raised? It's good to go to school, yes. But imagine if the script is such that you go to school, you get a good education, and you can apply it in having a good life. Because going to school does not guarantee that you make a good grade. Getting good grades does not guarantee that you find a good job, because those things are objectively debatable, so to speak. So the mindset is the first thing we need to work on this morning. We need to come to the understanding of the mindset of those myths, those false ideas. We need to rewrite them. We need to start scripting otherwise. That, I've lived so much to this time to do certain things this way, but it does not define how I would move forward in life. So the mindset is very important. I mean, I was speaking to someone a couple of weeks ago, and the person was like, you know, growing up, I used to feel that certain places can only be visited by certain classes of people. And we're talking about like places like maybe basic restaurants or convenience stores. So I just believe that the things there are very expensive. It's a mindset. Oh, it's only rich people that live in Bodija. It's a mindset. Because once you condition yourself to that mindset, it's very difficult to get out of it and then seize the opportunity when it presents itself. So chances are that when your mindset changes, you will start attracting opportunities. Second thing is you put yourself out there in the face of new challenges. Most of the time, we just don't, we've been doing this thing this way for so long. So what's the point? Why tweak it? If it's not broken, why fix it? It's also something we need to change. And then we need to leave our comfort zone. You see, I have a quote there by Richard Branson. He says, if someone offers you an amazing opportunity and you're not sure you can do it, say yes, then learn how to do it. I'll share a little story here. So sometimes in my past life where I've worked, there was this fantastic job offer I got. I wasn't even looking. So I was with a bank. I resigned. And one of my direct report learned that I've resigned. So he just invited me over for lunch at his new office. I said, there's an opening for vendor management. And at that time, I was just an architect doing project management. I said, I'm not interested. He said, okay, I've had you. Let's just go talk to Chooks. So we went to talk to the group head of the unit. And after like 30 minutes, I was like, wait, Prince, where did you even get my CV? So we worked together for over a year. So I have your CV. He said, okay. And then I left. I went back to work. It was a Friday. I worked in Lagos. I come to Ibadan every weekend. So I was planning to come to Ibadan that weekend. So around 4:30, I got a call. You're invited to come and speak with the CEO the next day. Oh, okay. So I have to cancel. I said, okay, I wasn't looking, but it's an opportunity. Let me just go speak to him. I was going to speak to Tole and Lumelu. That's not a big deal. It's an opportunity for me to even talk to him. So I got there the next day. It was a Saturday after environmental. I was dressed down. There were about 60 people coming for interview. And if you know how bank interview works, for you to come talk to the CEO is like your fourth or your fifth stage of the interview session because they're about to engage you. And this was me having a long chat the day before, coming to speak to the CEO. So I thought it's nothing serious. They just mingle me into that crowd. And so when I got in there, he said, "Oh, where do you work?" I told him, "Oh, I know your group head." I said, "Oh, it's a fantastic person." We spoke about my group head for a bit. He said, "What do you do?" I told him. And he said, "How many branches do you have?" At that time, we had about 121 branches in Access Bank. He said, "Oh, we have about 700 branches here." I said, "Oh, in 3 months, I'll have it on auto run." And he took a second look at me. He was like, "It's 700 I mentioned." I said, "Yes, the principle is the same. Once I apply it in 6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks, I have the plan. In 3 months, I will just do a bit of pilot. I have it on auto run." He said, "Okay, go talk to George." Now, at that time, he just brought George from Barclays, who used to work with General Electrics. It's a Cameroonian, just came from the UK. And I was with George for 3 hours. And by Monday, my direct report that invited me called me. He said, "BG, what did you do?" I said, "Nothing. I just came to talk to them." He said, "Well, they don't want you to come work with us in corporate services again. They want you in group executive office." I said, "I am not looking." And by Tuesday, they offered me the position. I said, "I don't want. I'm not looking. I've resigned. I want to go and do my own business and all." Long story short, 3 months on waiting list. I didn't take the medicals. I didn't do anything. But due to certain circumstances, I went back. And it was a perfect opportunity for me to learn how to do things differently. So going back, the understanding was, look, I'm not just going to do whatever you want me to do in group executive office. Can I do a bit of project management? Can I do a bit of finance? Can I just do a bit of how everything works? And they gave me that opportunity. Now, at the time they were giving me the opportunity, go back to Richard Branson. I didn't know jack about finance. I didn't know jack about process management, process improvement, corporate transformation. Nothing. But I told them I could do it. And to the glory of God, we did it. Now, that was me leaving my comfort zone. And leaving that comfort zone made me understood what it takes to a very large extent in you not just attracting the opportunity, but making good use of them. Then, number 4, I say share and give what you have. Your talent. Are you a good cook? Sometimes these little things we do make us to attract good opportunities. And then you mind your accomplishment, keep track of that. I don't want to waste so much time on it. These are just things that you generally do on your day, in your day-to-day life. Ordinarily, people just do this thing. When you praise others, people notice how well you praise others and they see you as somebody they can work with. You have a continuous improvement attitude. If what you seem to have done yesterday seems like so much of a big deal, trust me, it means you're not doing anything at all today. And that is not how to attract new, fresh opportunities. And finally, get yourself a mentor. It's good to look up to someone to guide you in this stage. So, there are different types of opportunities on the next slide now. There are different types of opportunities. Opportunities on how to make a better life, how to have good relationship, it presented itself in diverse ways. Different ways by which we get to an understanding of a situation that presents itself. In fact, sometimes opportunity dressed like an overall. It looks like a lot of work. Yes, as much as we've had the concept of hard work, very good. But until you take that concept of hard work to a level we call diligence, then it's not extra. These days, I think the balance now is smart work, which is also very brilliant. I mean, for the Gen Zs and the millennials, they don't think the work is supposed to be in the kind of way that some people in our generation are wired. Yeah, hard work is good, but smart work is better. But in all, I think diligence trumps the two of them. Diligence. People just see you do what you need to do part time without prompting. We saw from that drama, without prompting, is diligence. It's a good way to attract opportunity. So opportunity can come in different forms. You're going to have an education, employment, relationship. And when I say relationship, I'm not just limiting it to something marital, business relationship, all sort of relationships that we form in our daily lives, business, lifestyle, spiritual upliftment. Opportunity comes in all of these forms. And they are generally ways by which we enhance our statuses in life. They're generally ways by which we give ourselves a better chance in life. There's opportunities, there are situations whereby we get to do things better than the way we used to do it or we've done it yesterday. But for the purpose of this discourse, I'm going to be speaking extensively. If they can't finish this service, they just continue next service on types of business opportunities. Types of business opportunities. You see, opportunity has been so conceptualized as something that would look for you. That's something you would look for, right? We've defined that. It's either you look for it or it comes looking for you. But you see, the way things are these days, if it does not come knocking, like my high school teacher advised, can you build a door and go knock somewhere? If it does not come knocking, you are in a space now while you're flourishing to go build a door and go knock somewhere. So the types of business opportunities I'm going to be speaking about are basically 7. And I'll start with the first one, which is knowledge opportunity. Now, for opportunity for business purposes can either come in terms of knowledge, and it's an opportunity that is involve a specialist information, a know-how, or an expertise to create value. It's based on what you know. You're trying to make extra, you're trying to make inroad, you're trying to make a living, you're trying to do things better, just basically based on what you know. It's a knowledge-based thing. It can entail resources that create new market opportunities. You wake up one day, you realize, oh, there is something you need, and nobody, trust me, there is nothing basically new that anybody would invent. That's a fact. But there is a new way to modify an invention and make it yours that is new. It's very real. Very few people are going to discover plenty new things. That's a fact. Men have evolved for so long, we are almost there. We are in an age now of, I'll get there with the technology. Let me not get ahead of the next. So basically, knowledge is an opportunity that you need to keep expanding, by the way, based on from what you know to what is new. And so it's for people to engage in, people that are in teaching, for instance. I was watching a video sometimes ago, and I was just laughing. The man was expressing, for those who are in sciences, this cos, cosine, theta that we used to have in further maths. And he was just using his fingers to express how simplistic that whole thing was. And I was like, oh, really? If this man could really do this, it's a knowledge-based thing that is teaching things in a new way, that is teaching something that seems difficult over time in a new way. So knowledge-based opportunity is there for the taking, for whoever feels, look, I can think up new idea and can make things happen. I go to the next one, which is technology opportunity for businesses. And that is the cash cow right now. Sometimes I just envy these guys in the tech space, because what is there not to envy? They don't need to do your regular 9 to 5. They don't run offices that you need to clock in and clock out. They work remotely. If you go into their offices, it's just like a very fun place and a fun thing to do. And they're making a whole lot of money, because what they're doing is they've tailored their skills to be able to solve a lot of the global world problem as we know it. I remember in the 80s and the 90s, when you go to bank, there used to be people that we call the almighty in the banks, the accountants. And they have this big ledger, and all of you be in a queue, and you carry tallies. I think they call them tallies then. And say tally number 1. They call your tally number, you don't show up. They say next, and then the man would have to open the ledger and do entry, debit, credit. So going to bank is like a 3-4 hours activity. Just be ready to spend time there. And then look at transformation. And then in those days, I think you could only transact businesses from banks where your accounts are domiciled. If your account is in Liberty Road, if you go to Dubai, nobody will answer you because the ledger is not there, so they can't transact. And then see how telling my children that that's how we used to do banking, you just, which kind of head was in your generation? But look at what technology has done. When they even started, I'm not even coming to cashless, to even have a branch in Kano and come to Lagos, I think the early 2000s, where it attracts a fee because they will tell you your account is in Kano, so there is a cash management fee. But these days is online, real time, and that's technology driven. Okay, yes, I have that image there. That VR. That thing is fantastic. I don't know. I didn't understand what Mark Zuckerberg was talking about as regard metaverse. No, I didn't understand. Right? Then I took a look into this Oculus thing, and I could just imagine. I mean, you could virtually be present in this meeting, wearing this thing anywhere in the world, and choose to sit anywhere here. It's awesome what they've done. I mean, the way we don't need to rely on our local aid to just fly from one place or the other. So, opportunity in technology is a big deal, and engineering and manufacturing are what makes it this fantastic. Then you have product, service. I think I'll choose to speak more about this in the next service. So, for time, physical opportunity, then trading and commodity. Now, I'll quickly go to where I want to wrap this up. A nation of abundance. Nigeria is a nation of abundance. And it's probably one of the few countries in the world where you can wake up penniless today and you are a rich man the next day, and not in a fraudulent way. And this, I think, we need to preach more to our youth, and not in a fraudulent way. I see a lot of people around me these days, they hype to just relocate and leave the country. I pray a prayer, and I will pray it again today. Nigeria will become better for my children's sake and my children's sake. And for my sake too. Because trust me, out there is good. If you have the opportunity to travel abroad, it's not bad. I'm not preaching against it. But it does not guarantee that it's the only way or the only means for you to have a better life. No, sir. No, ma'am. It does not. I like what they've done, especially across Europe. They've been able to build a system where the mantra is, if you know walk, you know chop. And this is a concept we don't understand. The way people blesses people around here, people are not so nice over there. And it's not them, it's the system. I mean, I was talking to my friend yesterday, and he was telling me about one of his sister's friend whose children live in his house, and they share bills. His own children, he shares bills with them. Because it's that kind of a system. He said, if they were not living with me, I'll probably be staying in a smaller accommodation. Now that we have a bigger accommodation, they all need to pitch in. So, how much more will a stranger will now come from Nigeria and say, I was in that brother's house, and he asked me to, you will pay bill, you will split bills. And that is the reality over there. And then our country is so blessed. And I'll just take a cue. Let's take a cue from 2 Kings 7, 1-9. It's a story that Pastor have preached about so many times. You remember the story. In Israel then, there was war, there was famine, things were so... In fact, I started from the chapter before, whereby things were so bad that they were selling the head of it. How do you do the head of a donkey? And then the droppings of a dove. I mean, what do you do with such things? And then it escalated to a point where a mother would say, don't worry, we'll boil my child today and we'll eat. Then tomorrow, let me paint that graphic picture for you. It was that bad. Then tomorrow, we'll boil your own child. As things in Nigeria got to that stage. We will boil your own child. And then the other woman refused, and they went to the king. And the king said, the king was distraught. What is going on? And then a prophet declared, by this time tomorrow. Yeah, you see, by this time tomorrow comes a whole lot from this altar. Words of God, you would flourish. And people takes it with, don't be like that man on whose hand the king leaned. You know what the man said? It is not possible. Even if God will open, and that is what we do with opportunities we do not seize. He said, even it cannot happen. So, fast forward to a few hours later. Who are the people who made the difference? Some guys nobody would have imagined. They were in a camp. And the words they say, if we stay here If we go there, we die. So all die and I die, right? So all die and I die. And sometimes until we come to that understanding, look at that drama, A Little Slave. You will dream all your dreams. But until, I'll save that to the next slide. My time's almost up. So this is the mantra by which I feel we can attract and we can seize opportunity. No matter how you feel, and this is the mantra I've always lived by all my life. No matter how you feel, you get up, you dress up, you show up, and you never give up. And that is how best to attract and seize opportunity. Thank you.
Hallelujah. I believe we can do better than that. Let's just give a God bless you to Architect Bode. Thank you very much, sir. Wow, I think that was profound. I think that was very profound, and our nation is blessed. If you believe that, let me see your hands up. Our nation is blessed. Let's say that together. Our nation is blessed. Let's say it together again. Say it as if you mean it. Our nation is blessed. Praise the name of the Lord. So at this time, we'll be entertaining questions. The first 3 questions that will come up this morning. And if you cannot, if you can't come up, want you to write, okay, I can see somebody there. Okay. 1. Can I see any other person raising up his or her hand? Okay, please come forward. Please come forward.
Praise the Lord, church. My question is this, from the quote of Richard Branson. So what happens if you're presented with an opportunity that you do not have experience in it, and then those who are presenting you with this opportunity are asking you for the work you've done in the past concerning that? Thank you.
The chances are that you put yourself forward if it's in a related field. Now, over time, what I've understood and how it works is the 2 skills or the 2 strategies at play, and I call it attitude and aptitude. Aptitude is about your skill. They're asking you to present what you have done before to show that you have the ability to do this. So while presenting that, don't misrepresent the facts. If, for instance, you are, I want to use apples and oranges for comparison. Let me say you are an event planner, right? But you've only planned events to cover wedding receptions. And somebody is asking you to come and plan an event where a governor is hosting a dinner. And you've never done it before, but you've done something related. So you don't need to misrepresent the fact. Just put up enough attitude that will make them comfortable that you can deliver on the job. That is related. It's also possible that you're a fashion designer or a tailor, as that basic, and somebody is offering you a work as a carpenter. You don't have the skill, neither the aptitude. Saying you can do that is a bit of a stretch. But if that opportunity to do something relating to carpentry and interior decorator presented itself, and you know that you have capacity, we edge this thing. We call it consulting. So can you speak to someone who can do it? Let them be the one to do it. Then can you get a brokerage or a consulting fee off it? It's an opportunity. Those 2, right? You get. So there's something that is right up your alley, but you just never done it before. I'm an architect, for instance. I've never designed an airport. If the opportunity to design an airport comes today, I won't shy away from it. If I'm knocking for it, it will look good on my CV. So I hope I answered the question.
Thank you very much. Let me also add to that. Where I work, there's a mantra that we give that the HR will always tell you. They will say, we hire for attitude, we train for skill. You are hired because of your attitude, then we train you to have the skill that you need. So even if you have the skill and you don't have the right attitude, you are not likely to get the job. Praise the name of the Lord. So attitude is key. Thank you very much.